Muslim friends.
You can imagine, as usual, always.
They did not give me. They said I'm not Muslim. They say when it's Christmas, I don't mind them, so they do not mind me. So they did not give me anything. Anyways, this morning I'll start with the Daily Just newspaper. On the front page, government reclaims 800-acre Galamsey site in Nkrofo. Comes with the pictures of Emmanuel Amakofi Boa. He's the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, presenting the contract to RM EcoStore Ghana Limited official at the site. Also, BOG races to SC. I'm talking about Supreme Court over GN Bank rebuilding. Now you know that the Bank of Ghana has gone to the Supreme Court to appeal the decision that went in favor of Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. 300 Ghanaians arrived from South Africa. That story is on page 5 of the paper. Mustafa Yusuf cited in 579 million cedis African Games scandal. That's on page 2. One of the stories that we'll be getting into this morning. Also, Ghana is sitting on time bomb CDM ones. That's on page 2 of the paper. And when I talk about CDM, I mean the Center for Democratic Movement. They've issued a stark warning that Ghana may be heading toward a dangerous social and economic crisis if government fails to urgently address what it describes as growing institutional breakdowns across the healthcare, agriculture, and cocoa sectors. Also, detained MP fights for bail in Amsterdam on page 3 of the Daily Just newspaper. Tema aircraft crash report out. That's on page 4 of the Daily Just newspaper. Now to the news center. It says that Bawumia urges unity, sacrifice at Eid al-Adha. Also, 300 evacuated from South Africa arrive home on page 10 of the News Center newspaper. Government to restore 800 acres of River Subri Galamsey ravaged lands. Emmanuel Amakofi Boa is pictured here to be saying, Diamond producing gold before ratification lawful. Dr. Mantiao and President highlights unity, faith, national progress at Eid al-Adha prayers. These are the stories that the News Center is presenting on its front page. The Observer says that government receives first batch of Ghanaian evacuees from South Africa, and Eid al-Adha be responsible, avoid drugs, Mahama tells Ghanaian youth. TOR advances comeback with 1 million barrels of Bonga crude delivery. Kumasi to host funeral of Sami Jemfi's father-in-law this weekend. These are some of the stories that the Observer is talking about. And then finally, 2 more from me. The Accra Times newspaper, Afoko unveils 3 hours strategy to rebrand NPP ahead of 2028. The internal elections of the party is heating up. The race to become chairman and general secretary of the NPP. It is heating up as the days go by. Parliament values your work. Speaker Gbagbo encourages parliamentary staff. UNIMAC sets board vision for 2030. Leave a legacy, nurture talent. Clerk urges parliamentary staff and Asia Director tax staff to contribute meaningfully to transformation. A Kumfi MP honored at ACI World Congress Awards. The Accra Times has these stories. And finally, is the Custodian newspaper. It says that AG makes U-turn at Supreme Court, backs NDC in delegate system case, and crackdown on free speech at Jakutu Mahama. Government to restore Galamsey lands, 800 acres targeted in Nkrofo. Lawsuit looms over NDC's e-visa rollout duplication, and NPP celebrates loyal party stalwart as Papa at 100. These are some of the stories that the Custodian is reporting. Kate, what do you have?
I have the Spider newspaper. On the front page, it says why the president should hold Exim Bank accountable for production and job capacity losses from 2017 to 2026. The 24-hour economy agenda cannot thrive if Exim Bank fails to sustain industries. It also says Ghana's transparency drive needs cash, political will, says the minister. And on page 3, it says 13 killed in horror Akomadan highway crash. after risky overtaking attempt.
Yeah, we saw the videos and the images of that accident.
Yeah,
very terrible. Gory.
Images, yeah. And then they take us to Nigeria. It says Tinubu's leadership earns strong endorsement from Ghana-based support group. And then the last one for the Spider newspaper, Dutch court grills Ghana MP Ohene Kwame Frimpong over fraud allegations as bail application goes before judges. That's for the front page of the Spider newspaper. And then we have the New Republic newspaper. Mahama gets 2.6 billion vote of Mahama gets $2.6 billion vote of confidence. And we have bail plea lodged for MP in Dutch fraud case. An ex-minister, Yusuf, 2 others to refund 579 million Ghana cedis as forensic audit exposes shocking rot. Hotel rooms billed at US 50. There's another story here that captures a Ghanaian hairdresser severely injured in SA as violent manhunt escalates. Mahama dangles 100 million Ghana cedis for technical universities, but budget reality looms. And Ghana evacuates citizens from South Africa as xenophobia rages. Mahama pressured to punish Goldfields. Then we have the Daily Banner. Adamus Resources distances itself from Miko essay over alleged regulatory breach in Mali. And we have Boache Jakon condemns arrest of MPP activists. And government intensifies nationwide land reclamation drive to combat Galamsey devastation as Lands Minister leads 800-acre project at Nkrofo. Mahama's new e-visa rollout faces legal minefield over existing 10-year deal, and why more parents are talking about beware schools. That's all I have for today.
Right. This story is interesting. The lawsuit over the e-visa rollout. What's it saying? It is also captured on the Custodian newspaper on page 2 of the paper. What it is saying is that fresh controversies brewing over the planned rollout of an electronic e-visa system by the government of the NDC. Now, this is because a contractor, TGN Digital Security Ghana Limited, has warned the President Mahama administration that proceeding with the initiative could expose the stage to significant financial liabilities and potential judgment debts. The issue centers on claims by TGN and its Swiss partner that they already hold a valid 10-year public-private partnership agreement with the government of Ghana under the previous NPP administration, covering the automation of visa processing services, including e-visa capabilities at the foreign missions and the Kotoka International Airport. It says that effective immediately, all holders of African passport traveling to Ghana for business or tourism will apply for visas exclusively via the new online e-visa platform, and they will pay no visa fee. President Mahama announced during the launch of the launch on AU Day. I'm talking about Monday, May 25, 2026. So during the official launch of the project in Accra, the Minister for Foreign Affairs claimed this was a novel initiative, insisting there were no processes initiated by the immediate past government. However, in a letter addressed to the presidency, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other state institutions, TGN Digital Security argued that the proposed e-visa rollout duplicates systems and infrastructure already developed under an existing contract approved by Cabinet, authorized by the Public Procurement Authority, and ratified by Parliament. So, looking like a standoff there, and it has emerged after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced plans to launch a new e-visa platform as part of Ghana's broader digital border management reforms. I don't know what you make of this. I think not to look at the technicalities entirely, but the idea of a certain lack of continuity This is what TGN is saying, that a contract was signed 10 years ago. They have a 10-year agreement.
Yeah.
And then, because a new government is in place, true or not, the contract may exist or may not exist, a new government wants to introduce something else. There's a threat or the possibility of judgment debt and all of that.
Yes, for me, I listened to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa.
Right.
At the launch, and he emphasized that some of those rumors need to be relegated,
right?
Because they don't carry any weight. He has sought substantive advice from the Attorney General, and has been rest assured that
this does not exist.
Yes, so. I'll take his word for it. He's a performing minister. We are thankful that his leadership has brought 300 Ghanaians back home. The ongoing xenophobia in South Africa, and I think he's trending for the good reasons.
Yes, yeah.
But I'll take his word on that. And should it happen that it turns out differently, then we'll hold them to their word.
The company says this is a contract. The initial support period spans from 2022 to 2027, and then there are provisions for an automatic extension for another 5 years from 2027. And they maintain that the agreement is valid, it is unterminated, and adding that no breach notices, performance default notices, or termination procedures have been communicated to them by the government. Well, like you said, so we'll take the word of the minister's word for it.
Of course.
And then if it turns out otherwise, we're here. We'll talk about it, and then all the backlash they deserve we'll give to them. But hopefully, we don't get to that point. Hopefully, we know there's a proper end to all of these, the happenings, the duplication of contract, judgment, debts, continuity, amongst others.
Yes.
But the idea of an e-visa system is good.
Indeed.
That idea is very good. It is the appendages that we have to look at. Do you have any more stories for us?
I think one of the stories that is making headlines is the All-African Games. And that we see the ex-minister Yusuf and two others to refund 579 million Ghana cedis as forensic audit exposes shock and rot. Yes, on page 3, the New Republic captures quite a bit. Story by Gifty Boateng. It reads, "The mask has fallen. A forensic audit into Ghana's disastrous hosting of the 13th African Games has uncovered a staggering 579 million Ghana cedis, 44 million US dollars, and 629,000 euros in financial irregularities. And 3 former top officials have been ordered to pay back every pesewa. The report, commissioned by President John Dramani Mahama shortly after he assumed office, has laid bare a story of breathtaking greed, systemic procurement breaches, and what auditors describe as highly irregular and financially damaging expenditure patterns. At the center of the storm are Mustafa Yusuf, former Youth and Sports Minister, William Kate, former Chief Director, and Dr. Kweku Ofosu Asare, former Local Organizing Committee Chairman. The Auditor General has directed that monies deemed unjustified or improperly spent be refunded to the state. I think this particular headline forms part of today's big conversation.
Right.
So we will dig into it more during the big conversation segment.
The audit findings very disturbing, and like you mentioned, we'll talk about it more during the big conversation segment. But it cuts across the findings. They cover catering, accommodation, transport, sports, anti-doping, broadcasting. Every part of the 13th African Games came under scrutiny, and there are concerns everywhere. There's not one single place in the audit findings that said, "Oh, okay, this place, their hands are clean." Maybe Johnny has some perspective on the happenings at the African Games. You've seen the findings.
Don't try to spark me. I came very peacefully today after celebrating the Eid, and I've avoided joining this conversation for some time. But yesterday we went to do some saraka around the places that we have to go and do saraka at, and we want to especially thank Lawyer Zuma of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority,
right,
and all the other benefactors who don't want to be mentioned for the good things that we did. But Crosby,
it's as well.
Does it make sense to you, right, that this is the 13th African Games, and we have had a series of these things? You remember the minister who had money in the bag that got missing? You remember that?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
The dollars that got missing, the green bag that was swapped. You remember that? Sometimes we have to remind the people.
Is it Malamisa?
Yes, Malamisa. You remember how we bought Chichinga with money? You remember that? You remember that? You remember that? No, you tell me. But you are the one sparking me. So now I'm beginning.
It's all coming together nicely.
No, I'm just hitting the engine.
Step on the gas.
So that we can know. Now I'm hitting the engine. You remember that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You remember that? Okay. You remember that Pampers? You remember that? No, I'm just hitting the engines more.
Keep mentioning it.
So that's why I was avoiding this conversation, and you decided that I should be part dole. Okay, now we have finished that one. When we went to the African Games, this is the official audit.
Yes.
But let's do our internal audit. You remember the lady who was an athlete was given an oversized shoe?
Oh yes, it happened.
You remember that? You remember that too? Okay. You remember the gentleman who was using his own bicycle and it
yes.
got broken?
Broke down, yes.
You remember that too?
Saw those videos.
So you remember all these things, and you're asking me to join you in the conversation to do what exactly?
Goodness.
As recent as 2 days or 3 days ago, somebody was going to do javelin or pole vault. Is that what they call?
Yes, pole vault.
Pole vault.
Yes, the one they jump over there.
And what happened?
The stick broke.
Okay. So you remember that too? Okay. You remember that when they went for this 13th African Games, at the place we said that we had refurbished and reconstructed and done everything. You remember that the people were saying that some of the rooms were leaking. You remember that?
Yes, we had those concerns as well.
You remember that one too? So the volunteers that went there, who were not paid what they were due, and they were complaining, actually came to do press conferences, and we had to host them. You remember that one too? So why are you inviting me into the conversation? Because if you leave me, I can talk for 1 hour, and I will remind you of everything that has happened.
But do you remember Ken Oforiatta, the former finance minister, in 2023, sent a memo to Parliament for some tax waivers? For this 13th All African Games. And I think that was over $6 million tax waivers.
Charlie, did you feel?
If we add that to this one,
running away nobody
that's over $6 million.
Running away nobody
over $6 million.
That's the only one you remember on waivers.
No, I do remember quite a few. There was the COVID levy waiver.
You are the researcher. Do you remember the hotel around the airport road that was giving tax waivers? Do you remember that? When Ghanaians were crying and saying that, we beg you, these taxes, they are many, they give, and the hotel was not even going to affect our lives. Personally, because it was a high-end hotel, we couldn't pay for it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Should I go on?
Oh yes, maybe you should.
Okay.
You should.
Do you remember that at some point we're even paying $150 per COVID test at the airport?
Oh yes.
And we were the most expensive charging country around the world. Do you remember?
What did the minister say at that time?
Oh no, I'm just asking if you remember. If you ask me, if you spark me again, now I'm telling you, I'm just hitting the engine. Don't spark the engine. Let the engine cool off nicely. Now, after Ken Ofori-Atta took us to the IMF, after insulting us that we are a proud nation, we will not go to the IMF.
Ghana beyond aid.
Yes, Ghana beyond aid, but Ghana was in need of aid. Sambalat and Tobias. You and I were called that. We were all bundled into people who are not thinking properly. When he went to the IMF and got back, he came to do Wachi and Kenke party. And he actually told us that, oh, me, I love you so much. You're like my children. I don't want to leave you. Meanwhile, before his role as finance minister, he left Data Bank to say that, oh, based on ill health, I am not able to perform my duty. When he finished, he was finance minister. They were asking me, let him resign. Oh, do you know that Ken Ofori-Atta was the only one who had MPs on the side of government?
Yes.
Who queued up to say that we don't want this one to be our MP.
I think they wanted to send a petition to the president.
They
They did send a petition to the president.
Yeah, Kujo.
Yeah.
The petition is what? Relax. No. Relax. You people know only of the petition. And I'm saying it on record today. There was a meeting at Alisa Hotel. That week when Honorable Andy Appiah Kubi was on the front line leading the people, there was a meeting at Alisa Hotel where President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was present. The MPs told him their mind. And this one, put it in the record, cut it and share it. Let them deny. I will face them because I have the videos. There was a meeting at Alisa Hotel when Andy Appiah Kubi led the team, right, to say that we don't want Ken Ofori-Atta, we don't want Dr. Edubwine, we don't want Dr. Who was the deputy? The three people that they mentioned, which is like Edubwine.
Yeah.
Edubwine honorably resigned. That, oh, okay, if they don't want me, I'm resigning. Ken Ofori-Atta stayed on
until the bones are rotten.
And I'm telling you that there was a meeting at Alisa Hotel where President Akufo-Addo was told, people told him their mind. That is not in the public domain, but today I have put it on the public domain because today we are still celebrating Salah. We celebrate it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm wearing my dapela properly, so we'll talk about it. But the big question is, where is Ken Ofori-Atta? Do you know Ken Ofori-Atta was the only finance minister in the history of the Republic of Ghana who was able to get a former Chief Justice to go and picket at the finance ministry, to hold a placard, to say that pay our money.
Mr. Cora.
Former Chief Justice, play the song. Activate his life. Ever. He's the only one. Today he says, I don't want to come home. Can you imagine? Play.
I'm talking about our own audit while the game was ongoing.
No. We'll talk about the audit.
Yes,
but
we will.
Because you sparked me, now the engine is fired. So now let's ignite.
You see,
Use
when-
Kekujo first, then I'll come to you.
during the games, volunteers were crying that they were sleeping in darkness. So it became a major controversy after reports emerged that some volunteers, they had no electricity in their accommodation for days. And I should also remind you that this is accommodation that has been overpriced, according to the Auditor General, by about 10 million cedis. They were also crying over unpaid allowances. I'm talking about the same volunteers. And weeks after the 13th African Games, they were still saying that their allowances, their stipends have not been paid, their transport money, some saying they were being evicted from the hostels, amongst others. There's also this one that the hoteliers threatened to sue government. More than 40 hotels, they reportedly threatened legal action, saying that they had received only part payment, and that is months after hosting the athletes and the officials. Accommodation was also inflated by about $840,000, and that's equivalent to more than 10 million cedis. And then athletes were reportedly transported in pickup trucks. Video circulated, delays in completing the facilities, debate over the cost of the games. All of these happened, and then lo and behold, based on the concerns that came up at that time, President Mahama said, investigate, audit the 13th African Games. And after the auditing, this is what we're seeing. Very, very disturbing case.
Yes, there was the catering scam, which the New Republic newspaper captures here. Non-feeding expenses, transport utilities, staffing worth $2.8 million were buried in food supply agreements without justification. And then there was the anti-doping fraud allegation as well, where payments exceeded World Anti-Doping Agency benchmarks by 572,000 euros. That's an equivalent of over 8 million Ghana cedis. The New Republic newspaper is asking who approved this. There's also the hotel ripoff. Athletes and officials were billed US $50 to $70. The loss, like you mentioned earlier, that's 840,000 US dollars, an equivalent of over 10 million Ghana cedis. And then the equipment swindle. I like the way the writer
Equipment
play
swindle.
with words here. Equipment swindle. The writer says over 374,000 US dollars for goods never delivered or without specifications. And then the transport mess as well, where JDK Travel and Tours pocketed irregular payments totaling more than 30 million Ghana cedis, inflated hiring, excessive branding, and over invoicing. JDK Travel and Tours, who are they? Who are they?
And who is behind it?
Yes.
And who is hiding
You have to lift the veil.
clandestinely?
So
Behind
yesterday I spoke with Edem Sinanu, and he's of the opinion that, you see, the audit has
Citizen
mentioned,
Movement Against Corruption.
yes, the audit has mentioned these three persons that they should face the law, but he insists there are a lot of people in the value chain that you cannot ignore and just target the head of the faces of what seems to be wrong, because if they did not act alone, that is, if it is found that they did something untoward, there are a lot of people. There's the middle level staff, people who decided to look the other way, did not pay close attention to all the happenings that made these losses and this over 500 million cedis made the impact so big. So if we're looking at, surcharging, retrieval, and prosecuting, it should not only be these three top officials, the former Youth and Sports Minister, Mr. Gatti, and the other person. I think it's a sound call to make.
Yes, in fact, and these days, when government does their audit, there's also the citizens audit. So citizens are here to delve into it deeply. And I'm sure there will be a lot more findings. Sometimes they don't capture the little details that are important to us.
You know,
like how vendors for food were not paid.
Inflate prices and did not serve the food that they were supposed to serve and all of that.
Ghana Martial Arts. I remember that incident quite well. Yeah.
You remember too? That one too. Okay, that's fine. It's good that you remember. But you also remember that we took people to Olympics. They were training, gymming, and we were not feeding. You remember that one too? Okay, it's okay. Please continue.
No, it's what's alarming is that the minister was very defensive at the time. I quite remember he had a response to everything. It very much reminds me of some appointees and ministers in office currently. But the minister was very defensive. He justified a lot, only for us to find out a few years later that, he supervised losses, a burden to the taxpayer.
Another interesting too is, regardless how much we took, the over 2 billion cedis, we even had debts after the organization of the thing. And I'll read to you exactly what I'm referring to. That even after the money that we got to organize the games, it was found that hold on for me. Even after we had already spent the 2.245 billion cedis, there were still unpaid bills, debts, and other financial obligations connected to the games, and that amounts to 208 million Ghana cedis, of course.
Yes.
You have 2 billion cedis to work with. You finish spending the 2 billion cedis, and you owe 208 million cedis.
As outstanding liabilities.
Exactly, the outstanding liabilities we're talking about. How do we get here? How did we organize games that lasted for a period like that, and then come out later and we're looking at some of these, we're seeing these findings? Very disturbing. And this is the sports minister, the former sports minister, Mustafa Yusuf, when he was minister, and he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, and I'm talking about the $3 million paid to GBC. You remember that also came up?
Yes.
The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation was also there. A lot of back and forth between the ministry and then GBC on what the money was used for, how much was given to them, and all of that. But listen to the sports minister, Mustafa Yusuf, when he was responding or talking about how much was paid to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation.
Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for, and whether payment has been made for Sing?
Thank you so much. Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC in excess of $3 million US dollars for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here, and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid. Chairman, do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC in excess of $3 million US dollars
Yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here, and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid. Chairman, I'm grateful.
Former sports minister there. And that was just a trip down memory lane. A few days after, the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, they came out to say that GBC got only $105,000 from the All African Games and not $3 million. That was according to the Director General of the GBC. These are some of the things that have come together nicely and given credence to this Auditor General report. On 3FM 92.7 this morning, we'll get into the details. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. And Kay is still here with me. Johnny Hughes is also here with me. Stay with us here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We'll take a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we will definitely talk more. Stay with us. still a lot to talk about this morning before we get into our big conversation segment. The papers this morning are reporting of government to restore 800 acres of Galamsey lands at Nkrofo in the Western region. And this is not the only one. The Lands Minister, Emmanuel Makofi-Boa, he recently inspected 320 hectares of reclaimed Galamsey land. That was in the Ashanti region. And he says that that project is part of a broader national reclamation and reforestation drive under the Tree for Life initiative. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources says that Ghana now faces an estimated $264 million bill, and that is just to restore more than 5,500 hectares of land damaged by illegal mining. You want to know how we get to that amount? They say that reclaiming just 1 hectare can cost up to $48,000. The government has also tightened enforcement tied to restoration efforts. Authorities say that more than 1,000 excavators, they are now being tracked. We know that. But there is growing debate about whether reclamation efforts are enough. Environmental experts, they argue that simply planting trees is not sufficient because many Galamsey sites are contaminated with mercury and heavy metals. And scientists are pushing for more advanced soil restoration methods. So can Galamsey lands, can Ghana truly restore the Galamsey lands? And the billions needed to heal the poison lands, do we have them? Are we reclaiming them today so that they'll be invaded tomorrow? And then what happens to the various communities after the reclamation efforts? I'm sure that Kay has a thought or two on the subject of reclaiming the Galamsey lands. Kay, what do you think?
Yes, you know, the minister, he's been on this campaign for a while, the reclamation drive, and I think it's impressive. It's not enough, but it's impressive. Particularly, this is targeting Nkrofo.
Yes.
The hometown of our first president, Dr. Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And I mean, it's one to be impressed about. The minister himself is from that region. He's a Westerner.
Yes, Nkrofo is in the Elembele constituency. That's where he's member of parliament.
As if you are not an Nzema boy.
Oh, but let's smell it. Maybe
So fire.
That's
fire the thing. Fire the thing.
That's okay, no. So let's leave it there. But it's interesting. This is good news that we're reclaiming the land. However, while there are efforts to reclaim the land, Galamsey is also ongoing in various areas. River and Cobra, the expectation is that based on efforts that various administrations, various authorities, agencies have put in place to ensure that it becomes better, it is no better because mining is still ongoing. And the miners are becoming very, very smart. They are now using sophisticated technology to use the water, wash the gold, and it all gets back into the river.
People speak too much English sometimes. You are not. Do you remember that we spent 4 years of our lives planting trees or pretending to be planting trees across the country?
But we're still doing it.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. So Tree for Life is not new. But do you remember that we were told that we expect 17 million, 20 million? We're planting trees every year. If you ask me where the trees are as a farmer, I don't know where the trees are. And I've questioned that, show me from TV3 to Kwame Nkrumah Circle, because they're talking about Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
Show me where the trees were planted at. After 4 years, 5 years, we should at least see trees that are, because we planted trees at our church around the same period.
And they have grown.
And they have grown.
They have become proper trees.
So the trees, that we spend money to plant.
And there's technology now. So I mean, if you want to plant trees, you can just have a digital version of it for us to see where the trees are. When the tree dies, then it will just disappear.
You have gone to the UK. When they plant trees,
I haven't been to the UK.
Okay, I have been there. When they plant the trees, like they literally police the trees, they clip it, they put whatever they do to make sure that the tree doesn't die. We spend so much money trying to plant trees, and that we have not seen the trees. That's one. Do you remember we bought drones to monitor Galamsey people, Operation One and Halt, Operation Galamsey? You remember that, Crosby?
Yes.
Are you pretending that you don't remember? Remember the same thing.
So what we're saying is that...
So, no, relax.
Okay.
Let me land. I'm still your senior. What Emmanuel Amakofi-Boy is trying to do, reclamation, 9 months, blah, 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 we have seen all before. We are not measuring results. We are only measuring what we are measuring now is an attempt to get a result for us. And that is not what we are looking for.
Yes.
Because Crosby, if you fetch Galamsey water, right? For those who don't have the benefit of drinking bottled water like UIK, DJ Phil, what they do it's so what they do is that they are drinking chlorine, they are drinking alum, they are drinking cyanide, they are drinking mercury, and then they are adding the H2O. In addition, that's a nuclear bomb in their stomach, right? And we are not concerned about it. What even irks my anger is that the people, our friends who live abroad permanently, assume that, they are free and far away from danger. But they will finish and ask for mpatwa. They will ask for crayfish or ajin. They will ask for all those things for us to import it to them, right? Where are those things harvested from?
Yes.
The rivers, the same rivers that are polluted. So we die, they die.
Yeah.
And they are not joining us in their advocacy. And we've been doing this advocacy for too long. Too long we have been talking about Galamsey. And Galamsey has actually become a money-making venture. Let me explain. We have sent military people to go to Galamsey site.
Some military people.
Yeah.
Because I always believe that we haven't dealt with it the way we ought to, because Ghana's armed forces is not a walk in the park. I mean, they have what it takes to intervene and stop Galamsey one time.
Okay.
But they have sent some military people.
The top officers who listen to the show, you'll be shocked if I mention some of them to you. But I won't, because we are on air. If you give the Ghana Armed Forces the right space to operate, they will end Galamsey in 48 hours.
I wouldn't doubt.
Because that is their training.
Yes.
Their training is that we reach there, we find an obstacle, we neutralize it, and we progress.
Good morning, Commander-in-Chief.
Now, what have we done? We will pretend that we are sending military to go and fight Galamsey. And we will give them a distance of 500 meters astride the water. Now, if I'm standing 500 meters away, even if I have the most sophisticated weapon, it will take a sniper or a good marksman to do the best job. So what you are doing is that we are playing eye service, and like they say in the service, and from full respect. Like we are putting K and Crosby together and say, we want you to do this one, but this one we will not let you do it, but we are still putting your name there that you can do it. It doesn't make any sense.
As
Crosby,
okay.
I'm coming.
Okay.
One last point.
Yes,
Were
sir.
we not in this country when the EPA boss, Professor Brown Kluge, beautiful lady, intelligent lady, came to tell us that she has the capacity, and that if we give her money, she will stop Galamsey to. You remember that?
what did Sam George even say?
I'm saying, no. You remember that?
Yes, remember
okay.
that.
Okay, so say what Sam George said too.
From as far back as the Rawlings era, various interventions, military crackdowns on illegal mining camps, PNDC era mining regulations, initial formalization of small-scale mining through licenses. That's what happened under the Rawlings era to deal with illegal mining. Then came the Kufuor administration, small-scale mining legalization reforms. There was creation and strengthening of district mining oversight systems, deployment of police operations in mining hotspots, and then the Minerals Commission regulatory expansion. To former President Mills, immigration and police swoops, seizure of mining equipment, interagency task forces in mining communities. That is where it all began. And then the Mahama administration also started with the Interministerial Task Force Against Illegal Mining. There were joint military and police raids, deportation of foreign illegal miners, destruction and seizure of excavators and Shamfan machines. During that time, people were saying, why are we burning them? We should put them to good use, amongst others. River protection programs. Then also came the community mining scheme discussions. That's when it began to gain traction. 2017-2025, former President Kufuor, the most aggressive, arguably people say, also one of the most aggressive yet less impactful Galamsey periods in the country's history. There was a ban on small-scale mining.
No, we pretended that we had a ban on small-scale mining.
On paper, they said there was a ban.
If you read the Professor Frimpong Boateng report, and Kay, you read it.
Yes.
At the time when we said we had banned all forms of mining for 2 years, 43 various forest reserves that were precluded from any form of mining, right, was being mined in. At the same time, the man who was the man in charge of the Forestry Commission, the authority tasked to be at the center of this whole fight against Galamsey, the late Sir John, who is also an SDA member. I'm an Anglican. So we went, like DJ Phil, they say, oh, God has blessed you, that means that you have money. But SDA people, they are very modest. They don't chew meat, they don't wear earrings, they do plenty duku, they do all those things, unless I'm telling lies. He was an SDA member, and he even found purpose to will part of Achimota Forest for his family forever. Were we working at anything? He even found SDA member, quiet, calm, everything, nice uncle, good man, looking in the public eyes, everybody's benefactor, blah, blah, blah. He found time to put in his will that he has willed portions of the Achimota Forest, which was a restricted area, forever. What are you telling me about? Convince me further.
So, there was also Operation Vanguard.
Another scam.
400-member joint military task force deployed to the Ashanti, the eastern and western regions to fight Galamsey.
When we started Operation Vanguard, that was when they killed Major Maxwell Mahama. I lie. What have we done about Major Maxwell Mahama to say that, oh, this is signaling the end to the canker that we have? What have we done? I'm just telling you that we are only playing tricks with ourselves. Like, okay, so I'm in class with Kay. Sorry, Kay steals my money. He puts it in his back pocket and he's helping me to look for the money. That's what we're doing. With Galamsey. Mention the other one.
Your friend, IMC. IMCIM.
Was Kojo Oponkroma part of it? Was Cecilia Daba part of it?
Interministerial
Committee on Illegal
Mining.
Led by Professor Frimpong Boateng.
Who wrote a report?
Uncle Charles.
And for 2 years, the report was not even looked at. Charles Bisi was the secretary.
Yes, he was secretary. Yeah,
Kojo Oponkroma was there. Was he not there?
he was.
Good. Cecilia Dapa was there. Was he not there? Ambrose Derry was he not there? Okay. Brian Achampo.
The chairman made himself. The chairman made himself enemies because of that report.
The chairman, actually, let me say it again. The chairman is in court because of that report.
Yes.
The chairman is in court because of that report. So I'm saying we are just pretentious about the whole situation. The chairman in that report wrote that the people actually even refused to come for some of the meetings. In the second term of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he was not giving an appointment, right? Professor Frimpong Boakye, he was not given an appointment, right?
Yes.
Good. When in the second term he was not given an appointment, it was Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Cecilia Dapaah, and one other minister who's
very own Kojo.
Yes.
Bra Kojo.
Who went to stand at the central. They took a trip to Central Region, Western Region, that they were now trying to understand the problem that they were supposed to have fixed 4 years ago. And they were looking at the water treatment plan. That's why I tell you that in this country, our politicians, they scam us and they come back to us to shake hands with us and say, oh, I'm working for you, my brother. Forget them.
See,
When it goes bad, they cry with us.
if you take a step back through memory lane, you look at the composition of the CIM. It was interesting. So you mentioned Cecilia Dapaah was there.
There were 10 ministers.
Yes.
10.
Kofi Jamesi was there.
Yeah.
Chieftaincy Religious
Yeah.
Affairs. Monetary Evaluation. Dr. Anthony Akutose.
Who died?
Yes.
Sadly, may he rest in peace.
He was there as well. There was also Dambuchi, Regional Reorganization and
My own
Development.
uncle.
Your own uncle was
Yeah.
there. Ambrose Derry, Kweku Asoma Treme.
Yeah.
Later, Samuel Abu Jinapor.
Yeah.
Dominic Nitu was there as
Right.
well. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Minister of Information.
Right.
Haji Alima Mahama, local
Right.
government.
Right.
All these people were there, and then
Should I count the number of lawyers we have in there? Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is a lawyer.
so the,
Haji Alima Mahama is a lawyer. Ambrose Derry is a lawyer. Dominic Nitu is Ambrose Derry is a lawyer. Just mention them. We have just been playing games with ourselves. That's all I'm saying.
and it is very true.
We are just full. Look, there's a Minamata Convention. The Minamata Convention happened because the people who were drinking water from a certain river that brought find the Minamata Convention in play. We took $20 million, right, to fight water that is supposed to be contaminated with the chemicals I'm mentioning. How did we use the water? Money. So when the EPA boss talks, I listen and I laugh. We are just deceiving ourselves and pretending that we are okay.
Yeah.
Everything is fine. Let's tell the people, let's roll out a program. Look, by all standards, NIMOS under Minister Kofi Boah is trying to do something. In the past, you won't have a raid at a Galamsey site. And if you know what a Galamsey site is, because I'm a farmer as well, if you know what a Galamsey site is, you find generators, you find light, you find weapons, you find money, you find minerals, right? At least these 5 things.
Yeah.
In the past, we'll line up 3 Chinese people, 2 black people, and we'll put them. Now they are reporting that they are able to recover generators, but they are not able to tell us that we recovered lights and that we recovered, because a Galamsey site is like a construction site, like there's always a foreman who, after the day of work, remits money to the people.
Yeah.
So when you go there and you raid everybody, you should find his bag and the money. There's no Galamsey site where they will tell you that throughout the day they worked for 8 hours, 9 hours, and they didn't find a small amount of gold, diamond, or
They'll stop.
Yeah, they will stop. It's waste of money. You find it.
Yeah.
There's no Galamsey site that will go that is working overnight that you will not find light, like high beam light. You will not. Why was it not being reported to us back in the day? We sent people's immigration officers, military officers, police officers into those bushes, and people were making money out of it. We told the whole country that we have banned Galamsey, we have banned all forms of mining for 2 years, and we're giving forest reserves as concession.
45 forest reserves plus 1 national park.
Forever. Can you imagine? Does it make sense to you? If any of all those people and those people who are pretending to be doing work today come to you to come and tell you that we are helping you to fight Galamsey, tell them that I'm telling you that it is a lie.
It is interesting. We'll see how far the work of the Lands and Natural Resource Minister
On their
Honorable-
reclamation drive.
Yes, on the reclamation drive, how far it goes. There are those who say that it will not be enough, but of course, we'll have to give it a try.
It's better to grind slow
Exactly. We'll give it a try
and not to grind at all.
and
No,
then see how far it takes.
Kay has been a diplomatic person. You can wear your suit and tie. That's fine. Me, I wear my batakari, I wear my chieftaincy hat and speak my heart. We will not have to grind slow. Okay, people are being
No,
born.
they
People
say,
are being born
they say,
without arms,
they say
without
they are,
legs.
they say they are reclaiming.
no, they're-
the reclamation itself is
That's
even
that's the
entirely
problem.
different from the activity itself. You know, the activity is still ongoing.
So you
And-
you go and find the people. They are spoiling the place. They are destroying the area. So we have arrested K. Now we'll reclaim. We'll spend our money to reclaim. What are you
Can you
reclaiming?
imagine?
Stop the nonsense. What are you reclaiming?
Exactly. You have
Stop
a chance
it.
to stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. You say you are reclaiming. You are reclaiming what? You let them look on destroy. That was what I told you 2 days ago. That
Yeah.
when you are doing something and they say, "Oh, I'm standing there with you. I'm misbehaving." So I should be able to tell you.
So the Galamsey is
Giant,
happening
Giant question same now. You know, so
happening at various areas. You are reclaiming A. It is happening at B. Moving to C, you come and reclaim B.
Yeah.
From C to D, you come and reclaim C.
It's the
What are you
same
doing?
nonsense that we are doing with all these Boku and whatever.
No, so it gives the
election
impression.
flashpoints.
It gives
whatever.
the impression that probably you know you are reclaiming your own mess.
Yes, but if
Yeah, but that's what they are doing.
if you are
Yeah.
reclaiming and it's a stopping, we like it. But you are reclaiming.
Crosby,
it is not stopping. It is
stopping.
eating. So you keep reclaiming. Just
Cro-
stop the thing.
Crosby,
and then
But
reclaim and go.
Galamsey
Crosby
has not stopped though.
Crosby,
Yes, that's what exactly what
it does
we're
not
saying.
stop. When we
Yes.
take the soldiers into the bush, we house them, we feed them,
Yes.
we put fuel in the car, and we give them per diem.
Yeah.
And
You
we
remember
even,
what happened to
and we
the
even buy,
NIMOS,
and we even buy
Yes.
officers?
Yes, and we flew
They were even
them.
assaulted.
Yes, and then we buy guns and then we put bullets inside. Do you know how much it costs? So we are pretending that we are fighting a menace. We are not fighting any menace. We are not.
There's
I warned you that don't spark me.
There's a clear way to fight Galamsey. I don't know whether it is because of the the proceeds of Galamsey that is making it very difficult to fight. to
Why
fight
should the
Galamsey.
proceeds make it very difficult when
Because
we're
there
losing
seems-
more money from Galamsey?
There
You
seems
see,
to
we're
be
losing
a
more money from
consensus.
Galamsey.
I have always said that if we are serious about fighting Galamsey, the average boy, like at your construction site or mine,
Yeah.
is not able to afford an excavator.
True.
Because when the day ends, the most he will get is about 400, 300, 500 Ghana cedis. But somebody is buying the excavator, somebody is buying the fuel, and the fuel stations are also guilty of this.
Yes, and not to cut you, Johnny, you get back to your point. There was a petition by a group to the NPA that the NPA should investigate these illegal mining communities. There are fuel depots in the bushes.
Yeah.
It is not for you and I who are the
No.
researchers for the
They know
Galamsey
where it
authorities.
is.
Yes.
Now, when this new DVLA boss came, Logas, he came and realized that all the excavators, after about 4 years, were not registered. So, Crosby, how do we fight this Galamsey? I'll give 3 solutions. That's why I said we should have a common sense minister who be thinking like us on this show to forward the match. Number 1, find who has imported an excavator. Find whose name it is registered in. And then find out who he has let out the excavator to.
Yes.
Because the boys in the pit, they can't buy the excavator. But there's a big man bankrolling the
The boys
rubbish.
in the pit, yes.
So now you find the excavator, find the freight forwarder, and find whose name it has been registered in. We'll end this nonsense. I traveled, 4 weeks ago. I traveled. I was in the Nyinim.
Yeah.
The police station at Nyinim, okay, right behind the police station, like this is TV3, this is Jubilee. They are digging Galamsey, the police station is here.
They're beneficiaries.
Ah.
I mean,
I say we are pretending to be fighting what we cannot fight, or what we are not willing to fight.
You know that one of the earlier moves that the minister made was to, if you like, restrict excavator imports into the country.
It is not about the restriction. What are we doing with the ones already here? We're in this country when they smuggled palm oil into the country and they don't pay taxes. Were we not in this country? And I'm saying that what you are doing, the things they are there.
So the missing excavators,
We need-
remember the Ekwewusi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ekwewusi, my own brother, Bisu is my cousin actually. But I don't fear to mention because I will say it. Now, you are looking for excavators to construct roads. And then you go and find an excavator and bend the motherboard. Are you thinking right? You are looking for excavators to construct road and to level places.
Yes.
And to dig. Then you find an excavator that is fully functional.
They call it drip, eh?
Yes. And then you decided that, let me bend the motherboard and make the excavator useless. What are you thinking?
It would have benefited the drip initiative.
That's why I said we need a minister for common sense.
Yeah.
That's all. If we get somebody who is Nanado's first term, he brought in the minister you mentioned who died in the CIM, Doctor, the former deputy finance
Akoto.
minister, Akoto Osei.
Oh, say, yeah.
He was the minister for monitoring and evaluation.
Yeah.
Monitoring and evaluation. I thought that was the best thing that Nanado did.
What became of the...
He did work for 1 year, and that was it. 1 year. In fact, at the time I was in Parliament, I saw Haji Ali Mahama. I was covering the budget live in Parliament. I put the mic to Haji. I said, Haji, today your Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation says you should come for evaluation and monitoring. He said, I'm not even aware. He worked for 1 year. And that was it. And you know, Nanado had a very unique style. He would come and say, Kekujo, stand by me. He wants to appoint you as a minister. Okay, Kekujo is this, he has this, da. Then based on that, these are your KPIs, your JD, job description, and then you will be out. So he did that in his first term for the first set of ministers. When we started asking questions about, but you told us that this man, when he comes, you'll get more food. When you come, we'll get more money. When you come, so second term, he didn't try. He didn't do that again. And that is why we are where we are. Because this current government...
But have you seen a NIMOS dashboard by any chance? Have you seen a NIMOS dashboard that is updating the citizenry on their successes, challenges?
Right. That would be good. Maybe
because we are hearing a lot of press and we lose track of these things. It would be awesome if there was.
It would be
NIMOS.
awesome, but I hope it will be truthful because we had the same thing with COVID. We had the COVID dashboard.
Oh, then when you have the dashboard and you decide to be untruthful, and you subject yourself to
because when we
we
go to the field, we see you have added it to your accomplishments, but it's not there. It means
Crosby,
you are doing
don't
yourself.
you remember that the government's delivery tracker at the time? I was the one who made the 2 broadcasts and they shut it down. Delivery tracker, MPP's delivery. They shut it down. So if they bring a NIMOS tracker
That website.
and it's not truthful, they will shut it down. I will question it. I will go under the ground and find it.
But I think it would be good to have a dashboard like that.
I don't doubt that they can have
Even
a dashboard.
with
It will
this,
be that
reclamation and all
No, you
that in
have
there.
it, but make sure that what you are putting there
It's true.
is what we see. If we don't see, I will question. I asked my own brother Richard Anyagba. I asked him that. He said, delivery tracker, they have done something at Ketu South. I said, okay. I was in Ketu South 2 weeks ago. The project you are talking about, I have not seen it.
It wasn't there.
Okay, so you show me exactly where it is, because I know Ketu South. In 2004, I covered the election in Ketu South and Ketu North. So you show me where it is. If it is in the place that I know, I will find. If I don't know, I will activate the what do you call it, the phone lines for the Ketu South people to call in. He said, my brother, you cannot do that. You remember that?
So if you bring the dashboard, make sure that you're putting correct information.
Exactly
If
their
you
point.
If you don't bring it,
And don't pretend to be fighting Galamsey.
No.
Fight it.
In fact, there's a comment from Kwajo Fiagbe on Facebook. He says the whole thing is that governments are not ready to stop Galamsey in any shape or form. That will appear to be a consensus that people agree. Everybody seems to know how to fight Galamsey apart from the government. When you are in opposition, you know how to fight it. When you come,
You know, when you have people in authority, hold on.
Yeah.
When you have people in authority joining you to complain, then there's a problem. Because your problem will not be fixed. Your problem will be explained to you, but how to fix it is not their problem.
La ilaha. This is still Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Let's do some sports news.
again, you're still listening to Sunrise, but it's time for the sports updates with me, Akusia AJ. And in today's edition, we'll be hearing from a number of people, including Antoine Semenyo's mother, who's been talking to parents who have their wards, who play football in the diaspora, to believe in the process so that they are able to play for the Ghana national team. We'll also be hearing from some other people who play very huge roles in the world of sport. Keto Craig, who'll be hearing from him. Michael Essien, Gideon Mensah, who is probably one of the most experienced players in the Black Stars camp right now, is talking about some of the responsibilities he have to play for the new players as they are in camp right now, preparing one for their game against Wales and two for the World Cup that will be staged in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. And so the Ghana Football Association has stepped up efforts to strengthen the future of Ghana football after hosting a strategic engagement session with a UK-based Ghanaian parent in London. The event, held at the Ghana High Commission in the United Kingdom on Wednesday, was organized in collaboration with the British High Commission, Coach Hine Club, and Prince Lamona Consulting. Leading the discussion was GFA President Ket Edwin Simeon Okerku, who outlined the Football Association's long-term vision of identifying, nurturing, and integrating talented dual national players into the Ghana's national teams at an early age. Speaking during the session, the mother of Black Stars forward Antoine Semenyo Dela Djebu urged Ghanaian parents in the diaspora to encourage their children to represent Ghana at the international level.
Playing for your country, it's about blood, it's about legacy, it's about your roots, it's about pride. I'm here today to encourage all the players and their parents here that, trust me, when you play for your country, number one, there are a few things we need to consider here, because the kids we raised here are conflicted because there are two nationalities, different cultures as well. And as a parent, your job is, there's a lot of conflict. You're trying to advise. You don't want to come across as pushy. You want to encourage them because they don't see that side you know about. It's about pride. It's about your roots. It's about where you come from, even though we are here. For them, they feel like we were born here. This is where we come from. So it's a very difficult journey, but it is doable. You just need to encourage your kids and say, listen, the pride. I remember very well when, Anton asked us the question. He says, Mom, do I play for England or do I play for Ghana? And I said, in a heartbeat, you have to play for Ghana. And he goes, but why? Then I didn't have any words, and I went, oh, God, in Ghana, nothing works. And then he was like, if nothing works, why do I have to play for Ghana? And I go, you would feel proud to be part of the Ghanaian journey. Ghana, football in the UK, for me, is about the boots. But football in Ghana is about blood, it's about pride, it's about legacy, it's about your roots.
Well, Ghana Black Stars and Manchester City forward Antoine Semenyo's mother there. Meanwhile, GFA President Ket Okerku has reiterated his belief that players of Ghanaian descent should prioritize representing Ghana internationally. Speaking to Sky Sports during the visit to the Ghana High Commission, Ket Okerku stressed the importance of choosing Ghana when the opportunity arises.
Full-blooded Ghanaians should be representing their countries. Okay, that's my clear opinion on representation when it comes to national teams in football. But having said that,
you're talking about Manu.
Yes, Kobbie Mainoo. Yes. But having said that, I think that England has a good team. It's important we respect the manager and the experience that he brings on board. But what is also true is that they will meet a very, very competitive and determined Ghanaian side.
How much does it hurt you then, seeing Mainu in an England shirt?
Well, it's most unfortunate, to be honest. I wish I never comment on it. I wish I never comment on such situations because, for example, when I watched the French national team win the World Cup, and the team is made up of 11 African players, I mean, it always tells me that there's a subject that has to be discussed.
You heard GFA President Kurt Okraku there. Also speaking to Sky Sports was former Ghana midfielder Michael Essien, who expressed hope that the Black Stars will defeat England when the two nations meet in the group stage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The former Chelsea star admitted the fixture will be difficult, but backed Ghana to rise to the challenge against the Three Lions.
I don't know, but I mean, this is I think it's going to be a great game. It's a great match that everyone is looking forward to see, and hopefully it will be a good one, and the best team should win.
What do you make of England, the squad, and what are England's chances at this World Cup?
I hope Ghana beat them. No, I mean, on a serious note, I think they've assembled the best players they could to represent the country. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be an exciting one. So yeah, we just have to sit back and enjoy the show.
That was former Ghana international Michael Essien. But we still stay on the 2026 FIFA World Cup as Black Stars defender Gideon Mensah has shared Ghana's ambition ahead of the tournament, insisting the team's immediate objective is to progress beyond the group stage before targeting AD Paran. According to the defender, improving on Ghana's previous World Cup campaign by reaching the knockout phase remains their first priority.
The expectation is very clear. I mean, me as a player and then we as a team, we are working towards a very crucial tournament for us. I mean, the country and for us ourselves as a player. So, I mean, we are expecting that we go into the game, show to Ghanaians and show to ourselves that we are ready to go and compete with whoever that comes against us in the World Cup. Very good for me, for myself, my family, my friends. I mean, for what I've been able to achieve in my career. I mean, going for the second World Cup in my career, being with the national team for 8 years, which is very good for me. I feel so good. I feel like an experienced player, and then I feel like I have responsibility also for the new boys that are coming in. So, which gives me a lot of excitement to be here. It's very clear. I mean, we are hoping that we do better than our last World Cup, which is to go out of the group stage and then we take it from there. You know, I mean, we can aim to go to the finals and to win the World Cup, but then you need to start from somewhere. So, if we are going to look back to the last World Cup, then I think we have to also focus on getting out of the group stage, and then from there we can look into what will happen.
Black Stars defender Gideon Mensah. There we still stay with national team football as former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan has reflected on one of the most painful moments in Ghana football history, his missed penalty against Uruguay at the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Speaking in an interview with Michael Oteje, the former striker detailed the pain, pressure and criticism that followed the dramatic quarter-final clash, which denied Ghana a historical semi-final place.
Yes, I was in the form of my life. I was the most confident player in the world for me at that time. I think I was number 3 best player in the tournament after the 3 group stages. So everything was working for me. I was very, very confident till that penalty miss. As I've been saying this all over. Before the game, I had penalty shootout with Richard Kingston. You know, after the training, I shot about 20 balls. I scored all 20. Yeah. So that was when I had that superstition thing. I said, so if we get a penalty tomorrow, like, you know, how am I? What am I going to do? Because I've scored all the goals here. That was what came into my mind at that time. So I said to myself after the training, So after the penalty, when the penalty came, I was like, it is what it is. Because I was the first penalty taker of the team. I was supposed to take it.
Yeah.
I was supposed to take it. So it was, I remember it was Kevin who gave me the ball. Kevin who gave me the ball. Antoniana went outside to pick the ball. Kevin took it from me and Kevin gave me the ball. So I had to just take responsibility because it was that crucial moment. If I would say I was under pressure, no. I wasn't under pressure at that time. I was under pressure when I scored the 20.
You heard former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan there. But we turn our attention to women's football as Black Queens forward Chantel Boy-Holoka says she's aiming to score more goals for Ghana at the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations. The Nottingham Forest attacker was part of the Black Queens squad that secured a third-place finish at the previous edition of the tournament. Now firmly established with the team, Chantel believes she's ready to take on bigger roles.
For me, it's going to be my second tournament. I haven't been with the Queens for a long time. I think the last tournament I was quite new, quite fresh, just getting to know everyone. So now I'm a little bit more settled. So hopefully you'll see more of my personality, more of my qualities on the pitch, and hopefully more goals to help the team succeed. Yeah, definitely. I think the football's different to what I've been playing in England, but now I'm used to it. I'm used to the girls. I've made some good connections with the team as we're bonding as a team together. So yeah, I think this time around it's going to be much different. I think all of us players together will be much more comfortable with each other, and I think hopefully that can show on the pitch and you can see what we provide.
Nottingham Forest and Black Queens player Chantel Boy-Holoka there. Away from Ghana football, we head over to Europe where Crystal Palace have made history after defeating Rayo Vallecano 1-0 to win the UEFA Conference League final in Leipzig. The victory secured Palace's first ever European trophy and marked a memorable farewell for manager Oliver Glasner, who leaves the club after a highly successful spell at the Selhurst Park. That's it for the Sports on Sunrise with me, Akusia AJ. Thanks for listening.